South Park Stick of Truth is 10 years old this year, which means it is next up on the Decade Arcade. Let's find out if this game is worth your time, and more importantly, worth your money in the current day and age. Let's jump into it. Stick of Truth revolves around you as the new kid, otherwise known as Douchebag by all the other kids, and the South Park gang LARPing in a World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings type of vibe, and you're all fighting over the Stick of Truth, which lets the holder control the universe, basically. It's kind of OP. And eventually, the real world starts to kind of seep into the LARP. So while at first it's just like, oh, they're pretending to throw magic at each other and stuff, eventually you're like fighting drug addicts and you're fighting real life animals, and where you're like, but I was LARPing. So I don't really know where these powers are coming from. However, you suspend your disbelief a little bit and you just don't bother with that, and you just enjoy the ride. It is quite a fun ride. It's also a very compact ride. It does not want to overindulge in itself, which is a miracle for an RPG to not try and overindulge in itself. It just like keeps a breakneck pace, similar to a South Park episode. And overall, the story is pretty enjoyable. The humor and the presentation of the game, the overall aesthetics, all match up with the show. Almost like one for one. Like if you showed people the game without the combat, they could realistically think it's the show. They clearly worked very hard to preserve what the show looks and feels like into the video game. And that's even down into the humor. The humor is very raunchy, very tongue-in-cheek, and it does not spare anybody. You are getting teased no matter who you are, which has always been one of South Park's strong suits. Is it goes in, it does not care about the group, and it has fun with it, which I can appreciate. Its humor overall is very similar to the general South Park vibe, where it feels timeless. They do kind of go off of memes and stuff from that time period, but it's usually memes and stuff from the time period that will stick around for a very long time. Like, it does not make you feel like you need to know what was going on back in 2014 in order to enjoy it and have a little chuckle now. It's fun, it's lighthearted. The overall sound design, so like the music and the sounds and the voice acting, is all very good as well. The soundtrack kind of is on the minimal side, but that's kind of to be expected with a fantasy game in general, so this is taking inspiration from fantasy games and the like, so it makes sense that it's on the minimal side. Soundtrack basically consists of very Skyrim and South Park sounding soundtracks mixed together. The kids from the cast making Skyrim like noises and stuff over the soundtrack, so it's like, it feels like they made their own soundtrack for the LARPing session that they're now doing, which just kind of adds to the charm as a whole. I very much appreciated it. It's nothing like amazing, but it fits the theme, it fits with the game, it's all fun. The sound design is also just good. It's just kind of your standard JRPG points, clicks. It's good, can't complain about it. And the voice acting, from what I could tell, it's the same voice actors from the show, but it's good overall. The voice acting is very well done. The lines are delivered very well. It's overall another aspect of the presentation that just worked. South Park Stick of Truth's combat is really, really good. Think of Thousand Year Door. Basically, the game starts out and you choose from one of a few classes. Most of those classes are your standard JRPG vibe, thief and warrior and the like. There was one class that was funny South Park humor type of vibe, and that was the Jew class. And I did not pick that one because I always pick thieves, but I kind of regret not picking it because I don't know exactly what that meant. So once you pick your class, the game is very quick to jump into the explanation and like the tutorials, and basically the game's flow is Paper Mario. You get buddies as you go through the game. Those buddies have ways to help you in the overworld, And they do things in battle, and they all have their own benefits in battle. And some of them heal you, some of them are better at attacking, some of them are better at defense, and you swap them around and stuff. And you don't really have to manage their equipment or anything. Very, very, very similar to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Again, like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, your main character doesn't really have a crap ton of things to be bothering with. You get equipment, you get weapons and stuff to equip, similar to Paper Mario getting equipment and badges and stuff like that. But you never feel like a huge need, like I have to get this armor, I have to be updating this constantly. It just feels like little benefits on the side. Like I can picture somebody running through this game with just the standard equipment pretty easily. But anyway, the combat plays out turn-based. The battle is active time. The combat overall is not that difficult. You can get through it pretty easily, just with a little forethought. It's not so easy that you're just spamming the button and not thinking. You do have to apply some thought. And there are battles in this game where you'll lose, and you'll lose, and then you'll lose, and you'll lose. And the reason why you keep losing is because they have set up the overworld in a way where there is ways to take out enemies before you even get into the battle. So the game kind of encourages you not to try and bum rush through. I had one instance in particular where there was like these 3 rats that you had to fight, and they kept kicking my ass. And I was like, okay, I can't keep just blindly going into this fight. And then I looked and I was like, oh, I should have climbed up there. There was a way to like electrocute one of the rats. I tried it with only 2 of the rats since one of them died. I still was losing because they like apply this buff and they just kick your ass basically. So I looked and there was a way to get a 3rd rat killed, and the fight just becomes a fight against 1 rat and then it's easy. So it's like they have this cool flow to like the overworld exploration where it's like you're puzzle solving to make the fights easier while also doing the fights. Like you could kind of pick and choose how easy or how difficult you want these fights to be, is what it feels like. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the way that they have sought to kind of try and meld together the overworld map with the battles in a way that honestly not very many games feel like they do. Most games it's just like press square to attack them and you will get a preemptive strike. This one sought to turn that sort of aspect into puzzle solving, and it's very fun and it feels fun and you feel smart when you accomplish it. So overall, that's another fun aspect about the gameplay. Overall, South Park Stick of Truth is well worth the time and well worth the money. It has very good graphical presentation. It mimics the show pretty damn well, perfectly. It has decent music, nothing to write home about, but it accomplishes the vibe that they are going for. The voice acting is good. The battles are very fun, albeit they can be a little easy at times, but they're fun. So overall, the game as a whole, on all aspects, is very worth your time and very worth your money. The game actively will dip down to like $7.50, sometimes even $5 on a sale. And $5 for the quality that you're getting from this game is like a no-brainer. I recommend you pick it up as long as you can stand the raunchy South Park humor. End of story. That's pretty much the main. You might not like it if you don't enjoy South Park humor. So talking about poop, talking about farts, all those types of vibes. If you don't like that, or you just find it repulsing, do not pick up the game. If you're okay with it, it's whatever, pick up the game. Assuming you like turn-based RPGs. Basic gist of whether or not you should play this game. And that wraps up the review for South Park Stick of Truth. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the game, what you think about any of it really. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video, and be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this coming up in the future. I am Victorian Genetics, and this has been the Decade Arcade. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and game on.